Yeah. So Hogan's, I would have thought if you told me what was going to happen beforehand, outsider, as a fan, I see the business changing. I'm falling out of love with what wrestling was to me because I'm getting older, I'm maturing, and the business wasn't. I mean, 92, 93, we talk about the pig farmers and the garbage men and the hockey players in the ring. And so any semblance of suspending disbelief was gone. Now I'm in college, so a very different sensibility, and something like ECW brings me back into the fold because, oh, okay, these guys are actually cool, and I could believe that they're fucking each other up. I would not have put my money, I would not slid my chips on the Hulk Hogan square if you told me Hogan was going to turn and join this cool faction. I don't think you or Eric could have been sure that this would have worked. I know I've talked to you and Scott about this, like
You never know.
first promo when you went,
Oh,
yeah.
first promo was just, I mean, it was oil and water. But the
And you
thing
guys changed
was,
the production a little bit to help that, but still there had to
no,
be
not we
changes.
didn't change the production. So we basically Neil Pruitt created a way to make that work,
Okay.
from the black and white to the fast edits to
Mm-hmm.
us buying time, because we didn't. It took Scott and I forever to explain to the people that were in the office. Like this one girl, she merchandised a Ric Flair shirt, a Sting shirt, and then a Hogan shirt and an Outsider shirt, all from the same artist, all on the same black with white. And she came up to me and she said, "What do you think of these?" I said, "You can't sell those." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "We don't work for you." I said, "We're outlaws. Like, we're not, like, when we
Right.
come, like, you don't have a merchandise deal with us."
Right.
It was so difficult so that was the whole thing. So they were just like, "Oh, so how are you guys going to have, uh, be on the Saturday show?" We said, "Well, we'll buy time and we'll do those squash matches."
Right.
And we did the empty arena squash matches. So like we kept coming up with ideas that kept it, like nobody ever saw any of that shit before.
Right.
And then I was so embedded in Death Row and West Coast rap,
Defler Records, and yeah.
and it was like this was a chance for me personally to be like, okay, we have traction. Like, let's link ourselves to something that's definitely has traction.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, it's just like there was many white boys as there were blacks that were listening to Death Row.
Right.
And I remember when the Chronic came out, and I was driving with WCW with me and Austin, and it was like, and I had the cassette, and we played it like over and over, and
See, but that's what I'm talking about. This kind of cool. My chips aren't on the Hogan square for this.
but he knew, he was smart enough to know, like, he basically just said, "Brothers, catch me up on this."
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. What
Yeah,
had to happen to make it a team?
yeah. Because the thing was, like, the whole thing, like, I think it was Starcade, and Piper put him to sleep, and he was just like, "No, no." I said, "No," and we came up with the idea. that we would just steal the master tape, and after the pay-per-view, there's no way they could ever show it. So they had no tape footage of Hulk losing. So when Piper went out and claimed that he won, he goes, we were like, where's the evidence? So it was always, that's when we tag the trucks and do all the other stuff. So we showed him like, okay, like you've got to quit thinking like Hulk, and you got to start thinking like Hollywood.
Right.